Hi there. I am Seth Feinberg, editorial manager and US team lead here at AccountingWEB. So this is going to be part of a few videos that we do plan to do leading up to Counting Web Live Summit. Counting Web Live Summit is our very first live in-person event that we've had in our 20-year history here at Accounting Web as a brand. We're using it obviously to drive our brand forward, to really put ourselves on the map, but also to kind of highlight what we do on a daily basis here, which is to give you, the practicing accountant, practical and useful information and thought leadership from experts in the profession to better your professional lives, to help you go about your day, your week, your year, help you with your planning. And you can hear from some of your colleagues and again other thought leaders in the profession helping us to put this event together. Is obviously no small task, and so we have hand selected an advisory board of folks that perhaps you may know, but they really have helped us to stay sane, to stay on track, and really just kind of sanity check everything that we are doing to bring you the best possible live event that we can coming out of the gate. So, without further ado, I'm welcoming here today two of our board members, Doug Sleeter and Allison Ball, who hopefully many of you know Doug, of course, of the Sleater Group, who put on many a SleaterCon event, which many of members of our audience and our prospective audience, and attendees at the event possibly have attended in the past. Really, one of the more successful
Mm.
in my 20 years of covering the profession, overseeing the
Mhm.
profession. Really, one of the more successful events for accountants, bookkeepers, tax professionals. Uh, it was just it was really great to have Doug here and to join us on the board, and also Allison Ball, who many of you know from her time with Intuit, now with
Yeah.
Liscio, and who really helped get QB Connect uh, to the content at QB Connect. If any of you have been there, again, many accountants and bookkeepers from really all over the world, but definitely the
Yeah.
U.S. and Canada to to attend and really get the most out of an event like that. So, Allison and Doug, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're just delighted to be here. It's sort of like having coffee with your friends. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're just gonna have a little chat about Live Summit, which again we've had a few meetings, lots and lots of emails, lots of back and forth on the shaping of Summit. So, uh, given what you guys know, in your view, why did you it's putting you on the spot? Why did you agree to be on our board? Allison, I'll let you go first, and then we'll jump over to Doug.
Oh, well, Seth, for me, this was an easy ask. I mean, it was an easy yes. You literally had me at hello when you talked to me initially about the concept. I was so excited. I think Accounting Web is uniquely positioned to bring together the right speakers and the right attendees. And really, as we go into 2022, people are really hungry to meet in person again. And we've figured it out. We know how to do it safely. And the venue that you've chosen is just designed to foster outdoor connections in San Diego. The weather's going to be amazing. And I just couldn't wait. I just couldn't wait to get my fingers into it and to help you figure it
Uh,
out. I mean, I just
uh,
it's fun.
Thank you.
I hope that's a
Uh,
good answer.
No, thank you. There's no wrong answers here. We just want to share with our audience here, like hey, you got Allison. Why did she agree to join? Doug, as went through this before. So, Doug, obviously we're very very pleased to have you. What was it that said, yeah, sure, I'll be a part of this. I'll help you out.
Well, yeah, well, it was a real honor to be asked. So thanks a lot, Seth. And pretty ditto, pretty much everything Allison said. I think people are hungry for this kind of event. The Sleater conference, I sold it in 2015. So
Mhm.
my last year that I was involved in that was 2016. And then it became Accountex, and now Accountex is gone. So
Yeah.
that represented
In the
the
US, yeah.
only, at least Accountex USA is gone. There's
Yeah,
still a
yeah,
UK version of that, but um, the what I think that leaves is a hole in the marketplace for the independent voice, um, and no better company to fill that void than AccountingWeb, because you don't have an axe to grind. You're just trying to help, and you're not selling anything to anybody. And
Yeah.
that was something that, for good or bad, that's what I just resisted doing. I didn't want to sell to these people. I did want to, well, let's back up. I actually do want to sell to the audience that would come. What I want to sell is improve yourself. That's
Yeah.
really all I'm trying to say, is improve yourself. And here's all these tools that we can go and pick from. And I think that's what an independent conference can do. And then the expert speakers, both Allison and I and you, we know a lot of these folks who
yeah.
have excelled at the craft of presenting well. So that's one of the things I'm trying to really focus on as I look at who's being asked or asking to present. How is this going to really hit with the audience? So that's why I'm involved. I think it's fun.
And then also discovering the newer speakers as well. That's been really fun as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, definitely
Mhm.
trying to get some new blood, in there, as well as, some old favorites, and people that, so mix of the expected, the unexpected. Um, so on that note, guys, you have both been integral, in no uncertain terms, in some of the most popular and successful events, as I mentioned, in the accounting profession over the last couple of decades. Uh, what would you say tends to work best in a live event, and what does not? Doug, I'll hit that over to you first.
Well, I think the audience wants to come to, there's like three goals. They want to learn something.
Yeah.
And if you can just give them two great ideas, they can go back to their practice and
Mhm.
and change something, or
Yeah,
know something, or
yeah,
do something
something to
new.
grab onto. Yeah,
Yeah, and just a few ideas is all really people expect, I think, because they're not gonna. It's not a college course they're attending. They're coming
yeah,
to get a few new ideas. And then there's the relationships. A lot of them already know many of the people in the profession, and this is their one social outlet, in person, is this live
Yeah.
conference idea. So they, it's funny because I still, after being pretty much out of the business for 5 good years now,
yeah.
I'm still getting emails from people. Doug, when are we going to do another conference?
Yeah.
So, because what they're really saying is, I want to get the band back together, kind of thing. They just want to all talk to each other. They hug each other when they come. So that was the most
Oh yeah,
key part for us. And
yeah,
then finally, of course, there's for the CPAs, the CPE, and you
Yep.
need to have these continuing things. And the online stuff is fine, okay, and it's much better than it was when we were in the business. The online learning wasn't really there
Mhm.
so much, and now it's really
definitely.
coming along. But you'll never replace the live event for
Yeah.
what these
Yeah.
people really want.
And so Allison, too, same question. What have you found? I mean, you've ran a few of these. You've helped out with agendas on
Yeah.
several. What have you found really works best for a live event, and what maybe not so much?
Yeah, you need to think about, so this is an and to what Doug said. You need to
Yeah,
think about, like, we think about, like, who's the me, who is the person coming in, and what is it that what are they thinking, feeling, what do we want them to think, feel, and do. And so approaching the agenda from a concept of, and you guys did this right away, with thinking through who was going to be attending and what they were currently experiencing, what they were what challenges they were experiencing,
yeah,
and then putting together these different ways for them to learn from the different people. And so I think one thing that doesn't work is if you just have everybody try to go through the same experience all the way through. You're not going to nail that for everybody, right? And so
yeah,
one of the concepts is when you come into, you've got sort of some people who are at the very beginning and some people are sort of middle and then some people are experts. And how do you make sure there's something for everybody?
Yeah.
We had some great discussions about how you're putting together the panels. And I think that's where that's really going to come to life for the different learner levels, where there'll be something in it for everybody because they'll be learning from these different people discussing a topic that's very, sharing knowledge on a topic that's very relevant.
Right.
So I would just say what doesn't tend to work is if you try to sort of constrain everybody into a box that maybe they don't really fit in. And and then you can also go too far by having too much choice. So there's this concept of FOMO, right? I'm missing out. So
Right.
there's a
Yeah.
balance you've got to put in the middle. And I think you guys have struck that really well with the
Thank you.
number of
Yeah.
selections that are available at a time and also which ones you're stacking against each other.
Yeah.
So
It's definitely been a process, and
yeah.
you guys
And
have
you're not gonna
really.
make everybody happy, so there's always gonna be some
Yeah.
disappointment that, "Oh, I really wanted to go to this," or, "I really wanted to go to that," but and I w so then you gotta prioritize, and I think that's just always the case at anything where you're presented with all sorts of wonderful things, you are gonna have to prioritize.
Sure. And and of course the networking aspect too. You have to allow enough,
Oh, yeah.
just in my experience, just
Yeah.
from, being a fly on the wall. But I'm also as an attendee, you want to feel like there's enough opportunities to really engage there too. And you're not just like,
Yeah.
oh, geez, I got to get to this next session. And
Yeah.
I've been in both situations. Um, so on to on that note, well, I guess, for what you guys have seen, obviously we're still in the building phase of this, but what are you most looking forward to about this particular event, Allison? And then I'll kick it back over to
Well,
Doug.
I think everything's gonna be really good. I think for me personally, it's the panels.
Oh,
And
okay.
you guys are putting together a killer set of panels, and they are
It's looking pretty good.
can I just
I
share a
If
little
you
bit
don't
about the
mind.
process that we employed? Just a teeny
Sure.
bit?
Let's
Yeah,
peek under the hood a little bit.
just a
Sure,
little,
sure.
just a little, without naming any names or,
No,
getting
no,
anybody, revealing
that's fine.
anything.
You guys have been
Um,
involved in the process, so we don't
yeah,
mind.
so it was really
Just
interesting seeing
tipping
the
the hand
call.
a little bit.
So it was really, really fascinating to see the call for papers come in, that there were some real sort of, I would call them sort of hotspots of topics that were starting to sort of some clusters of topics. And then the discussion was, do we just give that topic to one person
Mhm.
and they lead it and great, they'll all of them would smash it out of the park, or do we create a panel? And so creating the panels out of these things and then choosing who was going to be the moderator of it, because they'll have a special responsibility there to gather their panel members together, make sure that the questions are going to flow. Because one thing that doesn't work in a panel is to ask the same question of four people,
Yeah,
and you're just like, you
I've
know,
been on either side, and
oh, it's
it's true.
awful.
We have to work to avoid that and to keep it engaging. So,
So the moderator choice is going to be really important, right? And
mhm.
so that's been a great. I think there's going to be some really exciting panels. The other thing I think is that there's going to be some presenters that are going to be that you're tried and true, that you just know are going to be awesome, and you
Yeah,
just want to go and see those
yeah,
folks.
we've got some
And then
rock
there's going to
stars.
be
I'll admit that.
lots of rock stars. And then
Yeah,
there's going to be some new ones where you're going to be, oh, I don't know this person. This is a new
yeah.
person. So you'll get an opportunity to hear from a bunch of different people. But for me personally, I think it's the panels. I think that's where there's going to be the most room for
Mhm.
this creative process. I call it the adjacent possible. Well, actually, I don't call that. I didn't coin that, but I think about this in terms of the adjacent possible. When you gather people together and they're sharing their experiences, and so there's something bigger than the sum of the parts.
Sure. No, thank you, Allison. Doug, anything in particular stand out from what you've seen so far? You're looking forward to
Well, like
overall?
you said, it's
Just
still somewhat early in the
it.
process.
It is.
So,
And we're not allowed to share final.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
true.
no, not
Um,
yet. But, just from what you're seeing, how it's shaping out, what are you
yeah,
looking forward to? Or, even, just even like what we're building towards, what are
I
you
guess the good news is that we get to pick, and we have to. I guess good news, bad news. We have to say no to
Yeah.
some really good people who
Yeah,
have submitted
yeah, yeah,
great
that's the hard
things.
part.
Yeah, so it's the tyranny of choice. You've got so many really good things to
Sure.
choose from. and some that, frankly, we did see that they're not going to work because they're not going to fit the audience. So that's what we're here to do, is hopefully,
Oh yeah.
get keep the stuff that's really going to be what this audience wants to learn about.
Yeah.
And I do think people are always reaching out and coming to these kinds of events to, well, find mentorship, whether
Mm,
that's a presenter that just blows it out of the park and they say, oh my God, I got to go meet this person. And then they develop that relationship. Or peers, like Allison was saying, the peers that are just sometimes the question answers that go on even within sessions or outside of sessions. Those
right.
questions are what other people learn from, is
Yeah.
what
Just the
what are they
whole
struggling with. And so,
interactive part. Well,
yeah.
we definitely want to get those conversations going. And when I first came over to Accounting Web and kind of help to set the editorial agenda here, one of my big themes was having content that really kind of kept the conversation going, or at least
Mhm.
started to
Mhm.
do that. And while a lot of that interaction hasn't quite happened on our site, we are hoping that we when we translate this to a live event, we'll be able to do that and get some new conversations going. I can tell you that this, while we're not revealing any numbers, it is going to be an intimate enough event, to where everyone is going to have a chance, the opportunity over the 3 days to interact with one another, with all of the vendors and with each other. And
Yeah.
it's going to be large enough to where, everyone, involved, is going to be, pretty happy with, like, it's going to be sizable enough that, we're going to make, a lot of our backers happy, but also intimate enough that attendees, particularly, folks who haven't really gone to an event in a while, or maybe not even any before, will feel like, okay, like this was worth my time. And that's kind of really job one for us, is we just want people to feel like this is
Yeah.
worth it for us. We're taking time out of our practice, we're taking time out of our professional lives. We're spending, spending some money to, to be there, to be on site, and the site itself, again, we've done,
It's gorgeous.
previous video where it's literally an island, folks.
Yeah.
It's
With
you're
air, and it's the air is gonna be amazing because it's
yeah.
San Diego, right? And there'll be sun and air and wind and all the things that you want,
Yeah,
just to keep the energy moving, and it'll be lovely.
exactly. And on that note too, again, we know that some folks are still maybe a little bit on the fence, about attending a live event. We're working hard to kind of, get, the most up-to-date protocols in place to make sure
Mhm.
people feel like this is going to be a safe event for them, to be at. Obviously, sure, we're noticing some things are improving. We don't know where things are going to be at in several months from now when the event is on. But there is a lot of outdoor interactions that are going to happen. There's no elevators at the place. Everything's
Right.
kind of one floor. There's no hallways, and so we're going to have the opportunity to do some indoor outdoor there. Um, so, any final thoughts from you guys? And you've really been great for just kind of, offering just a few thoughts here. We could also, we've talked a lot already about Summit, offline, but for our purposes here for the video, any final thoughts to share, Doug?
Well, what we learned a long time ago is that if you just allow accountants to have fun, they
Yeah.
will. Just tell them it's okay.
Too
And
right.
so
Too right.
if you're one of
People
those that you feel you're
people
shy,
don't realize how much fun accountants can have
yeah,
and
if
are.
you're a little shy, you will maybe break some new ground at this. People have a
Exactly.
great time. There's a lot of real good relationships, and they're not tight little fiefdoms. So come and
Yeah.
enjoy the people. That's what I would say. If you're just
Yeah.
need to get out, you need to go and continue your education, but also in a community that this represents.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
Allison,
everybody
final
really
thoughts?
cares.
Yeah,
I think Doug nailed it. I think everyone really cares about everybody else,
I get that.
and it is an incredibly tight knit community that is open and welcoming and warm to new people coming in. So it's like you're not coming to a clique, right? You're coming to a group of people that are like you
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
are experiencing the same issues, and you're going to have expertise to share with others, and
Mhm.
you're going to go home with expertise. And then and you're just going to learn about things hopefully learn to look at a few things in a slightly different way that's that one little thing that you needed to make that, oh, now I got it, right? And kind of
Yeah,
open up your, build on your success for 2022. I can't
amazing.
wait to meet you
Uh,
all. I hope you come, all of you. I hope you come.
Me
Cannot
too.
wait.
Me too. Me too. Well, again, we want this to be something we can build on for the future. We have a lot of plans. With this, we're really this is, folks. This is not planned to be a one-off or a shot in the dark. Obviously, we're putting a lot of time and a lot of money, a lot of effort into bringing this to you, to the accounting community, and a community it definitely is of professionals in Canada, in the U.S. And other places, who are going to come in, and we hope to come together for this. And just know that we this might be our first year, but there's a lot of experience clearly here on our board. Myself and on our staff, we want to bring the best event to you, and we are planning on building on it. For now, we're going to sign off, and early registration is in the works. We are hoping to have that to you very soon, and we hope that you are able to come and join us on May the 9th in San Diego, California at Accounting Web Live. I've been Seth Feinberg. Allison, Doug, thank you so much.